This story is about a surgeon who wants to bring the dead back to life. He has one goal in life, and he quickly succeeds. He creates a monster that is immune to bullets or even blows. The surgeon realizes he has made a grave mistake and is determined to correct it. Frankenstein. The year is 1857. A Royal Danish Navy ship is trapped in the Arctic ice. The ship's captain tells his crew, "We must free the ship as quickly as possible. We must reach the North Pole." Quote. His crew desperately try to free the ship from the ice, but they are unable to move it. Night falls, and then they hear an explosion. The captain and his crew go to the site of the explosion. They find a dog sled there, along with some dogs, all unharmed. The captain notices blood stains on the ice. A short distance away, a man lies wounded. The captain and his men approach him. The man reveals his name as Victor Frankenstein. But before he can say anything else, a very dangerous, human-like creature appears. Victor Frankenstein wants to be killed, but the captain and his men take him aboard their ship. The human-like creature is furious. He begs the captain to hand him over to Victor Frankenstein, but the captain refuses to listen. So he kills some of the captain's men and attacks the ship. The captain's men fire at him, but the bullets have no effect on him, and he falls off the ship. The captain and his men pull up a ladder. Seeing this, the creature becomes enraged and, in a rage, tries to overturn the ship. It is so powerful that it can easily shake such a large ship alone, causing the surrounding ice to break. The captain fires at it from above. The ice around him breaks, and the creature falls into the water. Captain then approaches Victor, who has a prosthetic leg. Victor asks how many people the creature has killed. Captain says 6. Victor says it will definitely attack again and will continue until it kills him. Hearing this, Captain is shocked and asks Victor, "What is your relationship with the creature? Why does it want to kill you?" Quote. Victor then tells Captain his story, and the entire story goes into flashback. Victor's father, a renowned surgeon, is shown. He married a very wealthy woman, and Victor was born. Victor's father was very short-tempered, which is why Victor and his mother were always afraid of him. Victor's father was often out of town and always wanted Victor to become the greatest surgeon in the world. That's why he teaches Victor anatomy, which Victor fears him immensely. Therefore, Victor obeys whatever his father says. Whenever he makes a mistake, his father would hit him in the face as punishment. He never hit his hands because they would be useful in surgery. Victor's mother becomes pregnant again and dies while giving birth to their second son, leaving Victor devastated. He loves his mother very much, and now Victor's father loves his younger son very much, even though he is always very strict with Victor. One day, Victor asks his father, "You were treating your mother, so how did she die?" Quote. His father says that no one has control over death. When someone is destined to die, they die. Hearing this, Victor declares that he will become the world's greatest surgeon and defeat death itself. After this, he begins to work hard. His life now has only one purpose: to bring the dead back to life. Time passes, and Victor's family suffers a significant loss, leaving them with nothing but their home. Victor wants to complete his studies. His father is constantly away. So he sends his younger brother to live with relatives and goes to the Royal College of Surgeons of Edinburgh to pursue his studies. During the seminar, he demonstrates to all his professors and seniors how he had grafted a dead man's hand onto a dead body, which was completely healthy. And now, when he applies a specific amount of electric current to that hand, the hand begins to move. It can even catch a ball and release it at Victor's command. This is a huge revolution. Victor tells everyone that we are born by God's will, but we can conquer death. We can make humans immortal. Victor's experiment angers his professors because it goes against nature. Therefore, Victor is expelled from college. Victor is very upset because no one appreciated his discovery. Then a man comes to him and tells him, "I am Elizabeth's uncle. Elizabeth is soon to be married to your younger brother. Their engagement is in 3 days." Quote. Victor then goes to her house, where Elizabeth's uncle tells him, "I used to be a surgeon in the army myself, but now I am a major arms dealer. I saw your demo with your professors in college. I am very impressed with you, and your entire experiment is in its very early stages. You can revive any human part for a short time. You need to do more research on your work. I'm ready to fund your work." Quote. This makes Victor very happy. There, he also meets Elizabeth, who has a great interest in insects and is very intelligent. Victor is very impressed by her. That's why he talks to Elizabeth whenever he gets a chance. He wants to impress her, that's why he even pursues her. But Elizabeth doesn't like him because Victor is an agent. Elizabeth's uncle also realizes that Victor is chasing Elizabeth. That's why he gets very angry at Victor and says, "You don't pay attention to your work. You have 7 days. If you don't complete your project in 7 days, we'll shut it down forever." Quote. And now Victor gets back to work. Elizabeth comes to visit him. Although she doesn't like him very much, she knows Victor is very intelligent and is also interested in his project. She gives him a butterfly and tells him that everything in nature happens in a symmetrical way. Victor is now sitting in the bar tub, contemplating how to insert pins into the body of a dead person so that current flows through it. Then he remembers Elizabeth's words that everything in nature is symmetrical, and when he places the pins in the same way, he achieves some success. Elizabeth's uncle had also arranged for him a large number of dead bodies. He takes a vital part from each body and creates a new body, which he intends to revive. But to do so, he requires a very high electric current. He inserts silver conductors into the bodies. Elizabeth's uncle also arrives. Lightning is flashing in the sky, and he wants to use this lightning to revive his subjects. He intends to generate an electric current within the silver conductors and insert it into the bodies. This will provide the current to the heart and brain, providing energy, and bringing the body back to life. Elizabeth's uncle declares, "I'm very ill. I'm going to die soon. I want you to put my brain inside this body." Quote. Lightning is flashing outside. Elizabeth's uncle knows the experiment is nearing completion, but Victor refuses to listen. He then keeps the silver conductor, saying, "I will give it to you only if you put my brain inside the body." He also tells Victor that after the experiment is complete, he will arrange for his marriage to Elizabeth. But Victor knows this is impossible. Therefore, he disobeys him and tries to snatch the silver conductor from him. In the ensuing scuffle, he falls from a height, resulting in his death. Along with him, a silver conductor is also slightly bent. But Victor is unconcerned. He quickly refits the silver conductor and supplies electricity, meaning energy, to the body. However, Victor's experiment fails. The body does not revive. This deeply disappoints Victor and he goes to sleep. That night, while he is sleeping, he hears a noise, and then the body he supplied with electricity comes alive and stands before him. Victor is overjoyed to see this. This body is very weak at this time. It moves very slowly. Furthermore, it speaks only one word, Victor. A few days pass, and gradually, the body gains strength. Its wounds heal on their own, and its mind remains like that of a child. Everything is alien to it. It explores everything. Victor is troubled by this because it still speaks nothing but Victor. Victor is very frustrated and also extremely short-tempered. That's why he even beats the creature. He always keeps it locked in the basement. One day, Elizabeth and Victor's brother, William, come to visit Victor. Victor is overjoyed to see them. He takes his brother with him to show him the papers from his experiment. Then, Elizabeth hears the voice of Victor, Victor, from the basement. When she goes downstairs, the same creature is there, and Elizabeth is deeply impressed by it. The creature is also overjoyed to see Elizabeth. Elizabeth sees the creature's body covered in scars. She realizes that Victor beats him. She goes to Victor and tells him not to torture him like this. Victor says he's not a real human being. He's just an experiment. His mind is like that of a child. This is a failed experiment that's completely opposite to what I expected. But Elizabeth doesn't listen. She goes back to the basement at night and spends a lot of time with the creature. She speaks to him very cordially. Now, in addition to Victor, he also speaks to Elizabeth. When Victor realizes that Elizabeth was spending time with the creature without his permission, he tells Elizabeth not to go near him again. He himself goes to the creature, whom he begins to beat with an iron rod. But today, for the first time, he snatches the rod from him and bends it in a matter of seconds. This means that he too has feelings. He too feels pain. Victor then goes to his brother William and tells him everything about how Elizabeth's uncle fell from the top, killing him. If he finds out, there will be a huge uproar. So, take Elizabeth and leave. William agrees with his brother Victor and leaves with Elizabeth. Victor then goes back to the basement and tells the creature that he must say something other than his name. But he only says one other word, Elizabeth. This enrages Victor. He sets the entire tower on fire and escapes. But he quickly realizes that he must save the creature. Elizabeth, too, realizes that Victor is about to do something wrong to the creature, so she turns her horse-drawn carriage around. Victor is then shown trying to get inside the tower, but just then, a blast occurs, completely severing one of his legs. The story returns to the present, where the captain is in front of Victor, who is narrating the entire story. Suddenly, a voice hears something outside Kevin. When the captain opens Kevin, the creature created by Victor, is still alive, having fallen into the ice. He has defeated all of Captain's men to reach this point, and now he attacks the captain. The captain tells the creature, "Victor told me you were a monster, and that was right. You really are." Quote. The creature replies, "You've only heard Victor's story. Now listen to mine." Quote. From here, the story shifts to a flashback, where we are shown the same tower that Victor set on fire. The creature is chained in the basement below, surrounded by fire. To save himself, he tries to break free from his chains and escape through the water. Although he drowns, he doesn't die. The next day, he goes to a forest filled with skeletons. He finds some clothes there, puts them on. He's hungry, so he eats some berries. In the forest, he finds a deer, which he feeds the berries to. But then some hunters arrive, shoot the deer, and then shoot at the creature. This injures the creature. He runs for his life. Nearby, he sees a mill geese, inside which he hides. The next morning, he sees the same hunter family, the same hunters who shot him, coming to the same place. This is actually their home. But now the creature is hiding here, so they can't see him. There are other people in the house as well. An old man who cannot see him teaches a little girl the alphabet. The creature also listens to everything the old man says from inside the mill geese, and he too begins to learn. He also begins to like the family. He wants to help this family. That's why, at nightfall, he cuts wood and puts it outside. He also makes tethers for their cattle, sheep and goats. This family believes that the spirit of the forest helps them. So every night, they leave some clothes for the spirit of the forest, which the creature wears. Many months pass like this. The creature hides in the same mill guise, and one day, some wolves come from the forest to eat their sheep and goats. But the family confronts them and shoots them. Seeing this, the creature understands that this is the rule of the world. Every strong man kills another to save his life, to survive. And now, this entire family wants to go hunting in the mountains. Winter is about to begin, so they have to go to gather food for the winter. They can't take the blind man in their house with them into the mountains. So he leaves him at home, and now the creature appears before him. They quickly become friends. The old man teaches the creature everything from reading to writing. He also caresses his head at night, which the creature enjoys. One day, the old man asks the creature, "Where do you come from? Who are you?" Quote. But the creature doesn't remember anything about himself. He only remembers one person and his name, Victor. The old man tells him to learn about himself. Afterward, he returns to the burned-out tower, where he finds books containing Victor's experiments. Reading these books, the creature discovers that Victor created him from the body parts of various people. Upon his arrival, he receives Victor's address in a letter. He returns to find the house where he has been living for several months has been attacked by wolves. He also attacks the wolves and kills them, but by then, the wolves have already killed the old man. But before he can leave, the old man's family arrives. They believe the creature killed the old man, so they open fire on him. The creature becomes enraged. He kills one of them and tries to escape. But he is repeatedly shot, killing the creature. The family leaves. But soon, the creature's wounds heal on their own and he revives. He then goes to find Victor at the address, which is actually William's address, not Victor's. He is getting married today. Victor is also there, now wearing a prosthetic leg. He had completely lost one of his legs in the last tower explosion. Victor then goes to Elizabeth and congratulates her. But Elizabeth slaps him and says that what he did to the creature was terribly wrong. Victor angrily returns to his room. The creature is already waiting for him there. Victor understands from his body language that he is no longer the same. The creature tells Victor that we should first forget what happened between us. I want you to make a girl like me, with whom I can live forever. But Victor flatly refuses. He says, "You are a monster, and I cannot make another monster. You are a failed experiment of mine, Quote, hearing this, the creature becomes furious and begins to beat Victor. Hearing the voices, Elizabeth arrives and is overjoyed when she sees the creature, which angers Victor. He shoots the creature. Elizabeth, wanting to save the creature, steps in front of him. The bullet hits Elizabeth, severely injuring her. Hearing the gunshot, William and everyone rush upstairs. William believes the creature attacked Elizabeth. So he moves towards the creature. The creature attacks him too, leaving William badly injured. Victor shouts to everyone that the creature injured Elizabeth. But no one dares to confront the creature because he is so powerful, and he picks Elizabeth up and takes her to his place. Elizabeth is breathing her last, but she is happy to be with the creature in her final moments. In fact, she always liked the creature. The creature also likes her. But now Elizabeth is dead. William is shown standing in front of Victor, also breathing his last. Before dying, he tells his brother Victor, "You are a very bad person. I was afraid of you since childhood. That's why I called you monster." Quote. William then dies. Enraged by his brother's death, Victor takes a gun and goes to kill the creature. But the creature quickly overpowers him, not killing him but inflicting pain on him, so that Victor can know what pain feels like. What suffering feels like, and he wants to see him suffer in this way forever. Victor now has only one purpose in life, to kill the creature. And so, the two face each other repeatedly. The last time they encountered each other, Victor wanted to blow up the creature with dynamite. This takes place in the frozen sea of the Arctic, where the creature captures Victor, brutally beats him, and sets his tent on fire. Although the dynamite explodes in the creature's hand, it doesn't harm him. Killing him isn't that easy. And it was the sound of this blast that led the captain and his men to Victor. The story returns to the present. The captain is confronted by the creature and Victor. The captain is astonished to hear their stories. He doesn't understand whose fault it is. But now Victor realizes that what he did to the creature was wrong. Therefore, he apologizes to the creature. The creature forgives him. The creature then goes to Victor. Victor places his hand on his head in the same way he used to do with the blind man. This makes the creature feel very good, and Victor tells him, "You are my son. I created you." Quote. The creature also calls him Father. Victor then dies, deeply wounded. The creature wants to leave. The captain orders his men not to attack the creature. He disembarks from the ship and pushes the ship out into the water, demonstrating his strength. The captain also decides that everyone will now return home. In reality, he was going to explore the North Pole because of his stubbornness. He realizes that he is doing the same thing Victor did. Stubbornness never leads to good, and now they set off on their ship and head home. The creature watches them from afar, and now, as the sun sets, the last of its light falls upon him, and he embraces it in the same way Victor had first inspired him to do. In fact, Victor Frankenstein was the greatest fictitious figure in this entire story. He was always a stubborn man. He created the creature, who was like an innocent child. The creature never attacked anyone. Despite Victor's constant torture, he always viewed the world positively. He never tried to harm anyone, and even at the end of the story, when Victor apologized, he forgave Victor within a few moments. Victor is the true monster of this story, who met the end that every monster deserves. What do you think? Please leave a comment below. We hope you enjoyed this story.